You have to go so slow, Caleb. Okay, she counts the 8 people. Alright. Alright, the production of artisanal cheese. This is called the process. Okay, I'd like to share with you the process in which farmstead cheese is made. Most people do not know that the average American consumes over 30 pounds of cheese a year. Cheese is the world's 3rd largest food group that is consumed. A French philosopher once said, "A meal without some cheese is like a beautiful woman with one eye." This being said, we all balance our lives with the love we have for cheese. I would like to take but a few moments of your time to share with you the process in which cheese is made, the process in which cheese is pasteurized, and the process in which cheese is transferred from the farm or the dairy to the creamery. Now, first we have milk receiving. And milk receiving is a process in which the milk is transported from the dairy or from wherever the cattle are or goats to the creamery. The process is usually with a tanker. Could be a tanker that holds 6,000 pounds, could hold 30,000 pounds, it could hold 50,000 pounds. Now at our creamery, we hold 6,000 pounds, we hold 30,000 pounds. And we transport it to our creamery, and the milk is normally cooled down at the dairy to 36 degrees. State law requires that the milk does not get above 45 degrees or it has to be discarded. Now this has never happened to us at the creamery because we keep very careful care of our milk. We keep an eye on it, make sure that the temperature's cool, the tanker's cool. You can keep 30,000 pounds of milk in a tanker for 24 hours and it'll only gain 2 degrees. So there's simple science that can be added to it. Milk can be held in a silo or a tanker for up to 72 hours if it stays below 45 degrees, which is 3 days for you college students. So that milk you can hold, and you can use 5,000 pounds here, 5,000 pounds there, until the complete milk is used for whether you're bottling it, or in this case, whether you're turning it into cheese. Now in milk receiving, the state law also requires that we test the milk for bacteria and antibiotics whenever the milk is being brought into the creamery before it touches any of our silos or our vats. The next process, once you have your milk in the creamery, is pasteurization. Now, I went up to Wisconsin and actually spent a week up there getting my pasteurizer's license and passed with a 90%, which is very good.
Right on.
So I'm state certified, world certified to pasteurize milk.
Wow.
And the process is very detailed, but very simple. Basically, pasteurization is a process where milk is heated to a preset temperature for a specific amount of time. Pasteurization does not kill all the bacteria, it only brings it down to safe levels to where we consume the milk and not get sick. State law requires that we pasteurize milk for a minimum of 15 seconds at 161 degrees. And that will kill most of your bacteria or take it down to a safer level where it's not raw milk anymore. Now, time and temperature are recorded on a chart per state requirements, okay? And if it does not meet this time and temperature, the milk is diverted. So just imagine that you have milk that is being heated up in a tube, and for 15 seconds you're holding it, and all of a sudden, for some reason, the milk gets below 161 degrees. It's going to divert and have to go back through the tube again and be reheated. Now, in the cheese process, this is not good because you're cooking your milk. You don't want to cook your milk because it kills the fat. It takes care of the fat. So once the milk is pasteurized, it goes through cooling plates, and the milk is sent to the vat. Now, the milk is sent to the vat at whatever degree the cheesemaker wants it. Different degrees for different type of cheeses they're making. Now, the next step would be the cheesemaker. The cheesemaker receives the milk, say 90 degrees, and wants to turn it into a cheddar. Now, there's 8 basic steps to every cheese make. They're all different depending on what type of cheese you want to make. There's the setting of the milk, which is used of a rennet and a starter culture. And basically what that does is coagulate it and turn it into one big blob of like jelly, basically. Then there's cutting of the curd, which takes the big blob of milk that you got, and it cuts the curd and makes it into the little, the little bite-sized curds that you see. And the process of that is used to get the whey out of the cheese and create more surface. The next step would be the cooking of the curd. Now, the cooking of the curd serves many purposes. It contracts the curd particle and derives away the free curd and increases lactic acid production, okay? Then the next step would be the draining of the whey. Separating the whey from the curd allows the curd more time for the curd to gain lactic acid production, which basically is the production where it turns from a milk to a solid to a cheese, okay? Then the knitting of the curd would be the next step, step number 5. And during this, the lactic acid accumulates, causing the curd to change chemically and provides a correct moisture for the cheese. And the cheese is knitted together in some kind of chemical balance there and knits together to where it's one single chunk of cheese. The next step would be the salting of the curd. Different ways to salt. You can add salt to it, or you can put it in salt brine, which is salt in the water. And what the salt does to the cheese is it not only provides flavor, but it also suppresses the microorganisms and bacteria that could be in the cheese. It also draws out the moisture. Pressing the curd would be the next step. This encourages the cheese to take a certain shape, certain design, and also encourages it to knit. This can be done for 72 hours, just depending on whatever cheese you're making. The curing process would be the next process, and that's the process of aging. Now you can age it for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 32 degrees. You can age it at 50 degrees. You can age it at 80 degrees. Just depend on what type of cheese and how long you're wanting to do it. These basic steps of milk receiving, pasteurizing, and making the cheese with this product can make it available to be consumed by the customer safely. The average cheese consumer typically does not know the process of making cheese. I hope that I enlightened you in the tasks that are involved. Next time you eat a piece of cheese, ask yourself who made the cheese and how long the detailed and the process took. Thank you.